Hey friends, happy Tuesday. Welcome to my Facebook Live to-go class. I am April Davis. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Spring Hill, Kansas, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. If you are here live, please do say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you missed the live, you can also comment in the comments. I always love getting your comments, which brings me to my first mode of business. First of all, did I say that today was April 29th? Can you believe today is April 29th? There's only one more day left in April. It's kind of sad. Gosh, this year's going by so fast. I felt like it was just Christmas. Anyway, I have this kind of bittersweet relationship with the month of April. With my name being April, I feel like it's my month. It's my lucky month. The other side to that is every time somebody's talking about something that's happening in April, I think they're talking to me. And so I have to pay special attention to make sure that I'm not interrupting a conversation because I heard them say April and they weren't talking to me. They were talking about the month, or then I ignore when they're talking to me because I think they're talking about the month. So one more day and then it'll all be good. When they say April, they're pretty much talking to me. Anyway, part of that is on April 30th. That is a special day because that's when I send out my tutorial to my email list to subscribers as a special thank you for just supporting me and allowing me to send emails to keep you abreast of all my fun activities. So that tutorial, it's a free tutorial. When you subscribe to my email list, you get that free tutorial on the last day of the month. So if you're not subscribed to my email, be sure to go out to aprildaviscreations.com. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Go out to aprildaviscreations.com. A flyer will pop up to allow you to fill in your name, and then I can get you on the list as well, so you will receive your free tutorial at the end of every month. So much happening. May is going to be here before we know it, and exciting news, and you guys are aware of it, is that our new annual catalog is released on May 6th. So be on the lookout for all the new items that are going to be coming. I'm going to actually be showcasing those next week, some of the things that are coming in the new catalog next week. So very excited about that. All right, want to get down to some business. I appreciate it when you guys like and share and comment on my posts or my videos, whether they're on Facebook or whether they are on YouTube. I so appreciate you liking, sharing, following, subscribing, commenting, all of that. So when you do that, I want to thank you, and I'm providing a free gift to anybody. It goes into a drawing. So two people will actually be drawn from the names of the people who liked, subscribed, shared, followed, commented on my videos is my appreciation. So I have two new winners. They're each going to receive the rhinestones, the rhinestone basic jewels. These rhinestone basic jewels are great for anything and everything, and you can actually take your Stampin' Blends and color on them. So these are clear rhinestones, but if you want them to be petal pink or you want them to be poppy parade, you can color on these. So the two people that have won a package of rhinestones for this week are Barbara 8932. Barbara, thank you for commenting on my video. And the other person is Cindy K, K-A-I, Cindy. She liked and shared my video. So Cindy, thank you so much. I want to get these in the mail to you guys. So if I don't know that I have your information. So if I don't have your information, please message me through Facebook, or you can send an email to aprildaviscreations@gmail.com, and you can reach me that way as well. So reach out to me, and as soon as I get your information to be able to send this to you, I'll get these in the mail to you. I also have a gift from last week that has not been claimed yet. This was for Kathy Franklin. So Kathy, I'm waiting for you to get in touch with me. If I don't hear from you this week, then those prizes will go back into the pool so that I can share them with someone else. But I really want to share them with you because I thank you for you were commenting or you shared, but you supported me. And so I want to make sure that I get this to you. So Kathy Franklin, please reach out to me. All right, so we've got that. So let's talk about some of the other things that are coming up before I actually get into the cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to share my desktop with you. And we're going to do this a little bit differently. I have this love-hate relationship with my computer screen because I want to show you everything on my computer, but then when I show you on my computer, I can't show you things in real life. So this time we're going to do it the opposite. I'm going to show you things in real life, and then we'll go to my website just so that I can show you where you can find all this information. So I have the new Crafting Happiness Club open for registration, and I'm really excited to share those cards with you. With the new catalog, we have the new ink colors that are coming out. So the Crafting Happiness Monthly Club is actually focused on these new colors. And there will be, let's see if I can keep my screen going. There will be 4 cards, and I'll just show you these cards really quickly. But fun cards that are utilizing the new colors, and they're paired with the Impressions of Bloom stamp set that is online. In fact, this may be available starting on May 6th. So you guys get a little glimpse of what's coming out, but this is online, and it's a bundle, and you get some amazing dies with it, plus you also get your photopolymer stamps, which I have to say have been well loved. I've been doing a lot of things with these. In fact, I've got a little piece here I'll show you. I was creating my own designer series paper, and so I use these to create my own designer series paper. So I've been having fun with this set. This set is actually featured for the Crafting Happiness Monthly Club. You'll get everything you need to create these 4 cards, and the focus is on our new ink colors coming out. And speaking of the ink colors, and I'll show you this to you when we go to the website, but I do have a special ink color club that you can join, so you can start collecting up all of the ink colors and everything that goes with it. Additionally, with the club, you are going to receive between $22 and $25 worth of product. So for this particular club month, for May, you're going to receive a full bolt of basic beige ribbon. You're also going to receive a half a package of the 2025-2027 in color flat pearl. So you'll receive a half a package of this, and you're also going to receive a set of the Glass and Gardens embossing folders that I utilized on the cards as well. So you're going to get everything you need to create the cards, plus these products as well. Also, I have a new event that is going to be taking place on May 17th. I am partnering with my friends Connie's Craft Room and Kelly Ann's Cards, or something like that. But anyway, Kelly and Connie are who I'm partnering with, and we are doing a spring fling. It's the 2025 spring fling, and this spring fling is going to feature 3 different bundles, but 4 cards. So you will have 12 cards, 4 from each. I am featuring the Cheers and Sip stamp set. Do I have this in front of me? I do. It's an online set. This is the one that I'm working on, and I'm just going to give you a really quick glimpse of the cards that were created with this. It was such a fun set to work with. And then we've got this one as well. So just quick glimpses. The way this is going to work, and again, we'll go out to the website here in just a second, but it is a live event on May 17th. Each of us will be on live to show you how to create these cards. Additionally, you're going to receive a tutorial for all 12 of the cards, and you're going to receive a video playlist for all 12 of the cards. So you can show up at Facebook Live, watch us prepare these cards live, but then you're also going to receive the tutorial and the video link. And there's no kit involved with it. If you like what you see, register, you're going to get the tutorial, and then you can come back to the videos at any given time to create your cards. So those are the two big things I wanted to tell you about. Let me bring up my screen to just show you where you can find everything. Okay, here we are. So those of you that aren't familiar with my website, I always direct you to my website because that's where I have everything. So you're going to go to clubs and classes. And again, the website is aprildaviscreations.com. Come down to the May 2025 Spring Fling. All the information is there to allow you to register. The cost for the event is $20. That's the cost of the tutorial, but you're going to get so much more than that. Then if we come back up here, I'm going to share with you the Crafting Happiness Monthly Card Club. All the information is here with a place to be able to subscribe. So if you're interested in joining a monthly club where you have your card kit delivered to your front porch every month with fun cards to create, consider that. I also talked about the In Color Club. This is so that you can receive everything that you need for the In Colors, which includes the classic ink pad, the Stampin' Blends, the cardstock, the designer series paper. You will receive a package of embellishments on the first shipment and the ribbon. Everything is here. It is a 5-month subscription, and each month you're going to receive a different color. May is Strawberry Slush, Timid Tigers, June, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, and then in September, Cloud Cover. So that's one of the things that I've got going on. And because we've got a new catalog coming out, I also have a designer series paper share that you can take advantage of. You're going to receive samples of each of these papers so that you don't end up having to buy everything all at once. You can get samples and decide what you like. So if you're interested in something like that, come out again to my website and you'll find that. And then last but not least, I'm going to go up to the to-go class because that's what this is a to-go class. And I'm going to share with you how to create cards utilizing the Grow with Love stamp set. And you can receive the kit. The class is free, right? But you can receive the kit that I'm utilizing for free when you place an order in my online store. And I'll send you the kit for free. You get all 3 cards times 2, so you'll be able to make 6 cards. If you don't want the kit, but you are interested in the tutorial, I have set it up so that you, so that you can purchase the kit only and not place an order. So up to you, but I've got this out here. You guys can decide what you want to do, but all the information is going to be here on my website. So let me come back up to you guys for just a second, and I want to share with you the cards that we're going to be baking. We'll go to my desktop here in just a second, but remember, we're going to use the Grow with Bloom stamp set. It's a bundle. It has, I'm going to come back. This is easier. All right, but I'm going to take myself down. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, so Grow with Love stamp bundle. There are some amazing dies in here. This actually allows you to create what I'm going to call a seed packet, but you've got some banner dies and some label dies, and then you've got all of this information, or the red rubber stamps, the cling stamps for your basil, your rosemary, your thyme, and your mint. Just a fun set. And obviously I'm going to be utilizing some of these, so I've already pulled those out. But let's look at the cards that we're going to create. So this is the first one, and this is with the, I'm looking to see, this is with the mint die and stamp set. Then we've got this one, and this is a giveaway. It's thyme. And then the last one that we're going to be doing is the basil. So is that, maybe this is the mint, and, oh, I did change this one up. It's just like me, right? So I noticed that I had 2 of the mints, and I didn't want 2 of the mints. So actually, the first card that we're gonna make, we're actually going to use the basil stamp set. So let's bring that kit in. I love the basic beige cardstock. It's so, I can use it with a lot of different things. It's just very versatile. I've got a couple of pieces of designer series paper that we're using, and of course I thought I planned ahead, and I don't. Oh, this is from the Storybook Gardens designer series paper. I just remembered. The reason I knew it was because I've got strawberries on this one, and this one's from Storybook Gardens. Okay, I've got another piece of basic beige that I've already stamped, and then I've got a label that is in Lost Lagoon, and I have a couple of the die cuts that are the basil. We're only going to be stamping one of them, but I want to show you a technique. When I am creating these cards, many times I'm creating more than one. And so I have 2 choices. I can either stamp and line up the dies. Let me pull the dies out for this. I can stamp and line up the dies. And then I can just, this is the right one. This is not the right one. It will be for the next one. And go ahead and stamp, die cut, stamp, die cut, stamp, die cut. However, when I'm doing a multiple of cards, what I like to do is I like to just take my die and run it through my cut and emboss, and I will just cut out a number of these, however many cards I'm making. And sometimes I'll cut out even some extras if I accidentally make a mistake. So then how do I get my stamps lined up on this? Especially, how do I get my clean stamps lined up on this? Because you can't see through them, right? So what I do, and you guys know this, but I have a stamp positioner. I have a number of stamp positioners. Actually, this one happens to be the small one from My Sweet Petunia. It's called a Misty. But I have a stamp positioner that I keep in my studio, and I use it all the time. And what I'll do is I will create a template. So this piece came from this template. And basically what I'll do is then I can just take them one at a time and place them in here, and I can just stamp. I line up my stamp. As you can see, I get it lined up. So now all I'm going to do is ink it, and I'm going to stamp it. So that's what we're going to do today. I've done a lot of my inking and stamping ahead of time, but I did want to go ahead and show you how I do this. So for this particular one, I've got another little technique that we're doing, and I'm going to two-tone my stamp. So I'm trying to keep everything in screen for you, but I've got 2 different inks that I'm going to use to stamp my, and I got to close this up so I can see, to stamp my basil, just to add some variety. So I'm going to use my little, what are these called? Gosh, guys, I'm just like drawing a blank. My daubers. These are my daubers. I keep them in my plastic case. I typically label them. So I've got my Old Olive dauber, and I've also got one for Pretty Peacock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp, and I am going to use my dauber, my Old Olive dauber, and I'm just going to daub color on my stamp. Okay. So not everywhere, I'm leaving some of it open. Then what I can do is I'm going to take my second color, my Pretty Peacock. I wanted to get a little bit of blue in there. And I'm going to stamp this. And I'm just trying to get this color in. I want it to show up, but I also don't want to wash over my green, right? Okay, or my Old Olive, I should say. So now that I have this stamped, and I have my piece in place, my die cut in the template and in place, I'm just going to go ahead and bring this over. And now I have it stamped. How fun is that? Then what I can do is I can take my take your pick, pull it out, and I have it all stamped, and it's kind of two-toned. You've got some green, you've got some pretty peacock. And now what I can do is I can take the second piece, not that I need it for the cards that I'm making, but I can ink this up again and do the same thing. And now I've got assembly line. So you can either stamp and die cut, or you can set up a template, line up your stamp so that it aligns in your stamp positioner, and you can just go to town creating all kinds of stamps. So let me clean this off really quickly, and then we will move on to creating this card. So I'm gonna, and it's easy to clean off because I can just pick up my chamois and wipe that off. Chamois a little wet, and then we'll put this off to the side. All right, so now we've got our piece. Okay, so let's build this card. I'm gonna move these guys out of the way just so that I don't get ink on me. And we're gonna start to build this piece. So we're going to, oh, actually, getting ahead of myself yet again, I want to stamp my sentiment while I'm doing that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm gonna do You're on My Mind. That way when I'm building this out, I'll just have everything ready to go. I'm gonna use Pretty Peacock on this. I thought it was a good dark contrast to my Lost Lagoon. I'm gonna pull this up so that I can see, get this lined up, and we'll get this stamped. Here we go. All right. Now, once I get this cleaned, we can start building this card. These cards, so fun, so easy. And I have fun just kind of mixing things up a little bit and doing different things with it, like the stamping. All right, so let's go ahead. I didn't get these scored, so I'm gonna fold, and then I'm gonna use my bone folder to burnish. And then I'm just gonna take the designer series paper and I'm just gonna layer it. So let's go ahead and get my glue out. So get some glue on this. And we'll put this up towards the top. About like that. I'm gonna take the second piece and we're gonna go ahead and get it glued down. And we'll angle it this way. So we've got this. Now what I can do is I can take my, this is basil. I'm gonna put some dimensionals behind my basil. And I'm gonna pop it up on my label. And I actually already stamped the outline to my label. And it's part of this set. You've got your die that you're going to be able to cut it out with, but you also have a big stamp that you can stamp your label to give it that little outline to it. We've already got that done. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the backs off of here. Boop. And we'll get this down. Centered. I'm going to take it just a little high because I'm going to put the label with the sentiment over it a bit. And then we're going to put more dimensionals on the back of our label. So let's go ahead and get that done. And let me see, do I have, yes I do. This prevents middle sag, so I'm going to go ahead and put my fifth one on there. And then what we'll do is we will get these ready to go. Okay, and I'm just going to come over here just a little bit, get this layered up, trying to make it straight. I'm going to pick it up so that I can look at it just to see. I feel like it needs to go over just a little bit. If you don't push down, if I'm trying to like line up edges, you'll see me put glue on the backs of these dimensionals. But really, I'm just trying to get this label as straight as I can. And as long as I don't push down hard, I'm going to actually move it over just a little bit. Over just a little bit. If I don't push down hard, I should be able to, sorry guys, get it lined up. All right, now we're going to take your On My Mind, and I'm going to tuck it up right under here. And I'm going to put, because this is popped up, I'm going to put a dimensional on this side. So let me get a dimensional, and I'm going to put it right here. And then this side is going to be going on my label, so I can go ahead and just put a little bit of glue here. And then we'll get this lined up. And let's see, is that straight? That looks good. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm using the low profile dots. And let's go ahead and put some of those on. So I'm going to use my take your pick, and we'll pop one here. Use a smaller one, we'll put it right here, and then we'll take this one. I need more putty on the end of my, when you start to run out of your putty, you can just take your pick and give it a twist. And then more putty will grow out of it. Mine might be almost empty, but I can use that, and then I can go ahead and do this. So with these out of the way, and we now have our first card created. So pretty. All right, let's move on to card number 2. Let's see, this is going to be card number 2. Okay, we're using that Storybook Gardens paper. I'm also utilizing the Everyday Arches. I'm going to take this down. Can I do that? Let me, hold on a second. There we go. Whoop, hold on. Why isn't that coming down? Oh, there we go. There we go. The Everyday Arches, and I love the Everyday Arches because look at all these dies. I mean, I like the stamps too, but I really like the dies because I can use these for so many other things outside of just the Everyday Arches stamp set, which is what I'm doing for this. So here we go. We've got some basic white cardstock. I have some Mossy Meadow cardstock for my layer. I've got 3 pieces of Designer Series paper. Then I've got my 2 arches. I've got a Mossy Meadow arch and a basic white arch. And then I've got 2 labels that were actually, they're from, let me double check. Yes, they're from the Grow with Love. And I used this die to cut those 2 labels, and you'll see what we're going to be doing with that. All right, so let me move this stuff out of the way, and let's go ahead and get our envelope folded. We'll get started with that. And then I have a bit of stamping to do, so let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to stamp on my white arch, and I'm going to stamp on my label. So the arch, I am actually utilizing the mint stamp. So I'm going to pull out my Old Olive. And let's go ahead and get this inked up. And I've got some on the edges, which is not good. So I'm going to make sure that when I stamp, I'm just going straight up or straight down and then straight back up. I am not rocking, because if I rock, I'm going to catch that edge. And I do not want to catch that edge. There we go. Good stamp. Okay, let me clean this up, and then we will stamp our label. And I should have had, it looks like I'm missing a couple pieces. Let me figure this out. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and finish stamping, and then I'll get this figured out. All right, so I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Thanks so much for your love and care. So let's go ahead and do that. Got that. I'm just making sure I've got good ink coverage on it, and I do. And I'm going to stamp this towards the edge, the right side of this label. So let's go ahead and get that. Okay. I'll close this up. And let's see, I'm looking in here. Yes, I have a couple pieces that I've already stamped and die cut. Let me clean this off real quick, and then we can start to build this card. Okay, there we go. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to take this white arch and I'm going to layer it on the mossy meadow arch. So, and what's fun about this is it's got little dots all the way around on both of them. That's the way those dies work. And it's fun because I can just center it right inside of those dots. All right, so we've got my glue on. Let me get this down. And then I'm just going to pick it up and I'm going to move it around so that I get it centered the way that I want it. Okay, so we have that. Now, we're going to come back to this in just a second, but what I want to do is I want to layer my sentiment. So my sentiment is going to be layered so that my white is on top of my mossy meadow, and I want my mossy meadow showing. So I'm going to put glue on this end of my label, and I'm going to bring this over and we're going to get it aligned. And because it's glue, I can kind of move it around until I get it where I want it to be. So, is that about even? Pretty much. Okay, now obviously this is going to be too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snips and I'm just going to cut this down. So I'm going to go straight across. Now I've got this cut down. Now I've got my label. Okay? All right, let's bring in let's do this. Let's bring in my mossy meadow piece and my strawberries. And I'm going to see, I think this is cut perhaps so that maybe this goes together just a little bit. So I'm going to start layering these and I'm going to do my outside layers first. That way when I go to put my inside layer down, it is, I can just center it between the two layers. So I'm going to get this one down. And I'm going to, again, pick it up. It's just easier for me to do that. And then move this around. Scooch it, scooch it, scooch it. Okay, and then I'm going to take, let me see. Does this one go here? It doesn't really matter if they don't fit together. I thought I had them so that they were fitting together, but it could be that, yeah, it's all right. Let's do this one. Let's see if this one goes. Does that one go? Not so much. It doesn't matter. I thought I had them cut so that they would, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and get this one down as well. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it down here. Okay, and again, I'm just going to pick it up and I'm going to scooch it around so that I've got, whoops, that really slid, didn't it? I don't want to slide too much because then it will stick and then I will be in trouble. So there we are. We're going to get that pretty much just like that. Okay, so now we've got this piece. So now the good news is all I have to do is take this piece and center it right between the two of them. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll cut this down. And again, I'm just going to pick it up and look at it, kind of scooch it around to get it where I want it. See if I can get it pretty even. Here we go. Okay, good enough for me. This piece is going to go over the top. So I'm going to put dimensionals on this. So let me grab, actually, I've got one here. And let's see, I've got these left over. So let me cut these apart. And we're going to use these for our sides. So I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to put one here. Okay. And then we'll put one down here. And since I have one left, just to prevent the middle sag, I'm going to go ahead and put one right in the middle. All right, so we got that. So let's take these off. And then we'll get this centered on our card. And I'm going to bring it over right about here. And again, just looking to see if I've got it straight. I can slide it over just a little bit. Okay. And then we've got our well, we're not going to put our sentiment on yet because we've got these additional mint leaves that we're going to put on to really make this nice and full. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of these, just enough to hold them in place. And I like the idea of having them kind of pop off the card just a little bit, or the arches. So we'll do that. That mint is going to get covered up. It's not going to show. We're going to go ahead and put this one on, and we're just going to make this nice and full. So now what I can do is I can bring this mint in here, and I'm going to maybe move it over just a tad, maybe this way. Okay. Now what I can do, and if this bothers you and it's sticking down too far, I'm just not sure my tag is going to cover it completely. I just trimmed that off. But now what I can do is I'm going to put a dimensional on this side, and I'm going to glue this side down. So let me bring out some new dimensionals since I cleaned that sheet up. Oops. These want to stick together. All right, let's see if I can do this. Right here. And then I'll put a little bit of glue on this side. Okay, not a lot. And then I'm going to bring this up, and I want some of this white showing. I like that white showing. And I'm going to bring it in just enough because I want some of my edge showing as well. So let's get this right about here. Did I take my... No, I didn't take my backing off of my dimensional, so it doesn't want to stick. All right, let's do this again. I'm going to bring this over right about here, and we've got my dimensional. And in fact, this has popped up so much that I'm going to add a second dimensional. I didn't have to use that on my last card, but it could be just how I've got things layered. And so since I've got things layered a little bit differently, I'm going to go ahead and put a dimensional right on the back of the one that I already had, and that will pop it up again. And now I don't have any sag. So that worked out just perfect. And now the last thing to do is to just take this card base and add it to the actual card. I should say this card layer. So get this glued down, and we'll go ahead and get this centered. And you can do a couple things. You can just glue it down, or you can choose to pop it up as well. Since I've got so much dimension in the middle, I decided this time around that I was just going to glue it down. And all the dimension is in the center of the card. And here we go. We've got card number 2. So pretty. Thanks so much for your love and care. All right, last card. Let's bring this one in. This is utilizing one of my favorite ink colors that is going away, and that is Wild Wheat. So I'm working with Basic Beige again. I'm working with Wild Wheat, that Storybook Gardens Designer Series paper. And then I've got some labels that were cut from the Grow with Love stamps die set. So I pulled those out. I've already gotten those taken care of for you. And we're going to put this together. So this was stamped with the Basic Beige to outline the border. So let's go ahead and let's build part of this card, and then I've got some stamping that I need to do, and then we can finish creating this card. So let's go ahead and get this burnished. We've got our card base, and then I'm going to layer the Designer Series paper on top of my Wild Wheat. Get that centered up, and you know how I do it. I have to bring it up. It's crazy. It's just like if I set it down, I don't get it down straight. So I use my glue so that I can do some little scooching around to get it even. All right, so we've got that. Now what I want to do is I want to start doing some stamping, and there's two things we're going to stamp. The first thing we're going to stamp is this thyme, because I want the thyme to show. When you use the die cut, you die cut away the name of the plant, but I want the thyme to show. So I'm going to bring in my mossy meadow. I'm going to get this inked up. Okay. And then we'll bring this in, and I'm going to line this up. Let's see, right about here, I think. Get a good connection with the paper. There we go. That looks great. Let's go ahead and clean out this stamp real quick. And then what I did is I stamped it a second time on the basic beige. And now what I can do, and die cut it, and now what I can do is I can put some dimensionals behind it, and I can layer it on my card, and the thyme is actually going to show through. So we've got that. Let me see, maybe, I'm going to take a little one, get a little one. I've got a little one right here, and we're going to put it down here. Okay, I think that's enough. So we'll pull this off. The other bags already came off of those. So let's go ahead, and we're going to get this lined up and get it pushed down. And now our thyme is raised, but we can still see what it is. So we'll set this aside. And well, actually I need it because I'm going to actually put my labels behind it. So I want to start with one, and there's a couple things you can do. I'm going to start with this one, and if you look, if I put that behind it, it's just too short. It's not working right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this label and I'm going to cut it in half. And then I want it to be kind of right in the middle. So what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end of it, not a lot. I'll just go ahead and line this up. I'm going to find a line that I want to line it up with. And maybe I'm going to put it right here. And I'll just line it up here using my grid. So I've got some of it sticking out on this side. Have a little bit of glue, but we'll get that fixed. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the front side. You're putting the glue on the front side. So let me get a little bit on this one. Line this up again with the line, and it's going to go here on this side on that line. I'm going to pull it in a little bit because I just don't want it to be the same. Yeah, there we go. So now we've got this lined up. I'm going to take my adhesive eraser because I had a little bit of glue on this that I could feel. So let me just use my adhesive eraser to remove that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer these behind. So let me see, maybe I go this way with this one. And if you want these sticking out more, you can certainly cut them in half. I think I probably did that with these. I'm not going to on this one. I'm actually going to just glue it in the center. And I'm going to turn it around this way and try to center it in the middle just a little bit. And press down. I want it to be straight. So I'm just going to look to see if I'm getting it straight here. That looks good. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my wild wheat. Only this time I'm going to take my wild wheat and I'm going to have it sticking out more on this side. So you can do this however you choose to do it. I like to change things up a bit. So I'm going to do this one, and I need to make sure I've got some sticking out on this side. And this time I can just line it up with the back of this one. So when I turn this around this way, it's going to be kind of a stair step. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to take my dimensionals, and I am going to get these on the back, and we're going to add this to our card base. or the card layer, the wild wheat layer. And let's see, is this moving? I want to make sure it's not moving. There we go. And then let's see, let's put one right in the middle. And I think probably I need one on each end just to give it some stability. So we'll do that. And I'm going to go with that. So let's go ahead and get the backs off. This one. And let's see, right here, here. Is that one off? Nope, that one's not off. All right, bring this back in. And I am going to get this centered as best I can. I want it to be straight. Let's see. Move it over just a tad, just a tad. I feel like I want my glue so I can just slide it around. Okay, I'm going with that. I'm going with that. All right, now what I want to do is I want to adhere it to my card base. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Since I've got dimensionals on all of this, I am not, whoop, almost out of glue. I am not going to put dimensionals on the back of this, but you've seen me do it before. I'm going to keep the dimension a little. Boy, I'm glad I'm on my last card. I have like used this glue to the last drop. Okay, let's go ahead and do this and get it into shape the way I want it. Okay, I think we're good. And then I'm going to bring these back in again, these dimensions or these embellishments. And let's go ahead and get them on here. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here, and I'll put another one down here, because I do like the placement of those. And now we have card number 3 completed. So fun. So fun and so easy. So let me bring these back in again for you to see. We've got card number 3 here. Pull these down so you can see them. I'm going to go back out here and I'm going to grab card number 2. Okay, and then we've got card number 3. You're on my mind. How fun is that? Remember, this is a to-go class, so if you are interested in receiving the kit so you can make all 6 of these cards, 2 of each card, then you need to place an order in my online store. If you're not interested in placing an order in my online store, but you would like the kit, then I do have it set up so that you can purchase the kit as well. But remember, for this to work, you're going to need the Grow with Love stamp set, the bundle, because you're going to want the dies as well. And if you don't have this, you can still create these cards. Just find something that's similar in your library. They're still going to be gorgeous. All right, let me come back and see you real quick, just so that I can say thank you so much for being with me today. I'm sorry that I was an hour late. I had an appointment and I appreciate your flexibility, but I was looking forward to being with you guys, and I'm like, I'm not going to record it. I'm going to just come on an hour later. So that's exactly what I did so that I could be with you live. Don't forget to like and share. Let me see if I've got a little button here that I can bring up. Looks like, let me see. I thought I had my like. Oh, there it is. Don't forget to please like and share so you guys can get into the drawing for the next week. Comments also get you into the drawing, and I do it both from what you do on Facebook, and then this will get uploaded to YouTube, and I will do it in YouTube as well. So don't forget to do that. I also want to remind, let me see, where's my notes? I also want to remind Cindy Kai, I believe, Kai, and Barbara 8932. Don't forget to reach out to me so I can get your prize in the mail to you. And last but not least, I've got a prize for Kathy Franklin. So Kathy, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to me so I can get your prize in the mail to you as well. And I will see you guys next week on my to-go class. Take care, everyone. Bye.